don't assume if you don't know. Trying to corrupt our souls, pushing media down our throats, showing us that dreams consist of power, privilege, and some gold. Wait, don't listen to me. I'm off on a tangent. I'm off on that. Off on that. I'm off on that. Off on that. I'm off on that. Off on that. And you know that it's automatic when I go out off on that tangent. I'm off on that. Off on that. I'm off on that.
Hello, and thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back to me. I missed you. Did you miss me? I dreamt about you. That must mean you dreamed about me too, right? Isn't that how it works? Like a psycho ex-boyfriend, just... But I had a dream about her. I know she dreamt about me too. That means she wants me back. She said so in my dream. She doesn't want you back, man. I'm sorry. The truth is, she probably doesn't even dream about you. And if she does, she wakes up and she goes, "Thank God. It was only a dream." But to hell with that wench or douche or whatever you're dealing with, because it's August. It's the end of August, actually. And you know what that means? That means that it is 8 months into the year and the year is almost over. So it is time to move on. But yes, time is flying, and I know everybody says that. That's a very cliche statement to make. But I feel like we really are in fast forward mode. And part of me thinks that it feels that way because I'm racing against the clock rather than just moping around, you know. I've been actually trying to enjoy the moment. And I think when you do that, time just flies. And back when I used to be miserable, time went real slow because I just wanted everything to be over with. But I heard somewhere that as we age, the clock ticks faster because we start to lose our perception of time. And I thought, that's very comforting to know that my brain is just rotting. That's all it is. No big deal. The brain's just like, oh, time? What is time? Who needs it? It's not important. Time is a construct. Time is a man-made construct developed by the elite to keep society in order and control us like sheep. Yeah, that's cool, but that doesn't change the fact that the sun does go down, and when it does, I must rest and lose about 6 to 8 hours of life. Oh no, I said hours. That's a time measurement, right? Okay, I rest and I lose a good portion of life. That still seems like a measurement somehow, I don't know. And when the sun rises, I too must rise and proceed to the bathroom mirror, take a good look at myself, and I go, yikes. Those lines under my eyes sure are getting deeper. Pretty soon my face will match my hair, and old ladies at the grocery store will stop asking me if it's real. So this dead conversation reviver quote thing, that time is a construct, which you may overhear in a college campus smoking circle, it doesn't change the fact that 10 years from now, or 10 Earth-Sun rotations from now, you'll be a little more worn down. And people go, well, hey, with age comes wisdom. At least you'll be a little more wise. Yeah, well, apparently that's not the case because our brains start to rot fairly early and we begin to lose our perception of time. Anyway, someone I know got a glow-in-the-dark tattoo, and I thought, yeah, that's really cool if you like moths. If I leave a light on for 2 seconds at night, they come flocking over within 2 seconds, so good luck with that. Maybe they're trying to become a moth whisperer, I don't know. But yeah, that and you'll always suck at hide and go seek. You'll be the first to get murdered in a dark room. But yeah, some people go real unorthodox with the tattoos nowadays. A buddy of mine got his dead dog's ashes tattooed on his arm. But then he got another puppy immediately after, right? So now when he walks his dog out in public and someone goes, "Hey, cute dog, can I pet it?" He goes, "Which one?" Crazy though. Tattoo with his dog's ashes. He made his dog a part of him forever. And I swear ever since he got it done, he's gotten real good at frisbee. Shit, he lives 4 miles away from me. And he called me the other night and went, "You cooking meatballs?" I said, "Yes, I'm cooking meatballs." He goes, "Too much garlic." I said, "Okay." He said, "What are you trying to do with all that garlic anyway? Kill a vampire?" I said, "No. I just happen to really like garlic. So shut your dead dog tattoo having ass up." And he hung up. I get it though, you want to make your dog a part of you. Especially if it's that one special dog, man. There's always that one special dog. I lost my childhood dog when I was 15 and I was torn up. I was also a little bit of a pothead, and I wanted to make my dog a part of me. So I went over to her little kennel where she used to sleep, and I just picked up a bunch of little dead dog hairs that I found, and I put them in a joint, and I smoked it, and I cried. And I don't think I cried because I was sad in that moment. I think I cried because the smell of the dead dog hairs being cremated was disgusting. I'm pretty sure it made me nauseated too. I got pretty sick. Anyway, what I'm saying is I understand because we love our animals. I've been seeing a lot of rich dudes when scrolling online mention the key to happiness, and they give you their advice. And it's just funny to me because they have several physical keys to happiness. 6 cars in a mansion, probably a condo in Waikiki. Because, Waikiki is such a hot vacation spot. It's so beautiful, right? I'm kidding. Waikiki is a shithole, if you didn't know. But do you think these guys would ever trade their keys with a janitor's set of keys? Because janitors have many keys as well, but they are not to happiness. They are keys to depressing offices and classrooms, which they do not own. They are keys to places where they must clean up tracks of shoes, which have walked upon miles and miles of industrial scum. Keys. I didn't know the Black Keys were white until like 2 years after I started listening to them. I just assumed they looked like Jimi Hendrix, not Flight of the Conchords. But yeah, Janitor Keys, man. Do you think there's a janitor at Area 51? That's a hell of a book to be written. There's some kind of accident during the reverse engineering of a spacecraft, and the loudspeaker just comes on. It's like, "Attention janitor, clean up at S4. Please come mop up all the element 115. It's all over the place. Bring a hazmat suit and some radiation preventative shit." Then they just hit him with the little Men in Black flashy thingy when he retires, right? Any janitors that worked at Area 51, just hit me up, please. If you didn't get the flashy thingy. So I just looked it up, and it is a book. Janitor 51, Saving the World from Midnight to 8. What happens when a simple janitor finds himself as the last line of defense at Area 51 on a night where everything goes wrong? Find out as Jose Trinidadian battles aliens and terrible bosses as he goes about his duties, saving the world from midnight to 8. That actually sounds kind of cool. It's probably a good thing I didn't start writing that same exact book. I was thinking about how much money my wife spends on candles. She really likes candles, and it got me thinking, if she was Catholic, she would lose her mind. Makes me wonder, do the candles in Catholic churches smell good, or are they just plain? Is there a primary scent that they have to use? I would think so, because if they mix and match scents, it would just make a real weird smell, right? Do they get a tax write-off for all the candles they have to buy? Do they get a discount at Bath and Body Works? What's the deal with candles? If you're a Catholic candle handler, please hit me up and explain this to me. You know what would be smart is if somebody built a candle store right next to a Catholic church. That way they'd never run out of business. See, I got some money-making tactics up my sleeve. Some infinite money glitches. Wake up. 5 a.m. Cold shower. T-bone for breakfast. Drive to bank. Get loan for candle store. Buy vacant space next to church. Offer a bulk discount to nuns. Expand your candle empire. Hear sketchy rumors about the organization next door. Turn a blind eye to possible church corruption. When interrogated by the FBI, mention how your neighbors were always lovely people. Problems gone. But yeah, hit me up if you're a Catholic candle fella. Or if you used to be. Because people always wonder where's all the money going to these big churches. And I believe the answer's right there. It's going to all the candles. Because they are expensive. I was at Target the other day and my wife wanted a candle that was like $90. Is it the wax that makes them expensive? Is it the wick? Is it the vase part? The ceramic? Whatever they use? I don't know. This is stupid. I'm sorry. Plus, the churches always have those big, beautiful windows. Imagine how much Windex they have to go through monthly. I'm thinking too deep into this. Being the church accountant must be pretty interesting. Plus, all the artwork they have, too. They always have, like, crazy artwork, right? Speaking of artwork, I walked past a guy painting a building the other day, and he stops me. He goes, "Hey, buddy, could you give me a hand? Could you hold the ladder for a sec?" And I go, "All right. But you know, Michelangelo used to do this shit 60 feet high on his fucking back. Do we not strive to be like our heroes anymore? What happened? I don't think a guy hustling to become a ball player watches LeBron shoot a three and then goes out on the court and asks his buddy for a hand. These painters, man, their predecessors just set the bar too high, I think. Like Da Vinci. The guy did it all, right? He painted in the morning, then he sculpted at lunch, then he fixed his buddy's chariot in the afternoon because he was a mechanic. Then he coded something. He was good at coding. He did all this. And still, he painted the most beautiful woman in the world, right? That's what they say, yes? The Mona Lisa? Lay your eyes on the most beautiful woman in the world. Let's pull up the Mona Lisa. There she is. You know, maybe I don't have the right to judge beauty, because, my nose can't decide if it wants to be Hawaiian or French or Chinese or what. It's just going in different directions because of my background. But most beautiful woman in the world, compared to who? The world? The whole world? Mona Lisa looks like she needs some coffee. That is a deprived woman. If Mona Lisa was considered the most beautiful woman in today's society, all these ladies would stop paying for lip fillers and they'd just not sleep. Mona Lisa looks like my AA sponsor who relapses constantly but refuses to turn in her chips. She thinks she's hiding it, but everybody knows. She brings the best snacks to the meeting so nobody says anything. Mona Lisa's a misdemeanor away from being the lunch lady. I'm just talking shit, obviously. I see the beauty. I do, because, I'm somewhat of an artist. I can see the work that went into this. The strokes and the shadows and the contrast. It's actually kind of a shame that Da Vinci worked so hard on this painting, the Mona Lisa, the most beautiful woman in the world, only to have us whacking it to anime characters 500 years later. Simply drawn, cat-eyed cartoon people. How is it that they look hotter than the Mona Lisa in today's society? They're just lines and solid colors. There's like no contrast, no strokes. Well, there's many strokes. But, Raves. I was invited to a rave, but I'm scared to go. Not because I'm getting old, but because when I was a kid, I was attacked by a swarm of fireflies while listening to Daft Punk. I'd rather politely decline the invitation than explain that to somebody and expect them to understand. Raves were just never my thing, honestly. Out in the woods, dancing with lights. I don't even like camping out in the woods. Growing up, I had a friend who liked to camp in his backyard. I'd go over and spend the night, and we would just get high in the tent. It was actually a blast now that I look back at it. So much fun that now we're 30, and he's still out there somewhere getting high in a tent. I'm proud of the guy for not letting adulthood stop him from doing what he loves. What else? I was driving to the store the other day, switching through radio stations, and the song Jesus Take the Wheel came on. I immediately got a flat tire. Wrong wheel, Jesus. I believe the song is about the steering wheel. Not my front left tire when I'm going 45 over a pothole. I was just trying to get some charcoal from the store so I could grill that night. I don't cook much. The wife does a lot. I know. It's 2023 and a wife cooks? A lot. Yeah, a lot. It's crazy, right? I still can't believe it. Anyway, I was going to grill. And I don't know what this masculine association with grilling is all about. Something to do with it being primal. I heard somewhere that our fascination with grilling comes natural because our ancestors cooked over an open fire. I'm sure our ancestors loved hot dogs and hamburgers too. Makes me wonder if our fascination with walking is because our ancestors did it to move around. I wonder if our fascination with closing our eyes for 6 to 8 hours a night, could that be because our ancestors did it to sleep? I wonder if our fascination with inhaling oxygen, is it because our ancestors did it to breathe? Wouldn't that be crazy? Could somebody prove this? That would be a groundbreaking discovery just to see how much we really have in common with the ancients. I heard a lady say, thick hips sink ships. That's great if you're trying to deter sea captains. Thick hips sink ships. What are you, a pirate? Why are we sinking ships? What does that shit even mean? Sounds like terrorism. Put her on the no-sail list. What if a guy went around saying, like, mad gains, crash planes? We'd be like, fuck off, man. I got a flight tomorrow. How dare you? How dare you say that? Being lean melts steel beams. Whoa! Easy, conspiracy gains. Flexing arms will put a chunk in the Pentagon. Whoa! Calm down. Just calm down. I've been real tired lately. It's not hard to see. I look in the mirror and I go, yeah, that's a tired fellow, right? And it's odd to me because I feel like I looked better back when I was drowning myself in alcohol every night. I even used to get compliments back then. It was weird. I remember I ran into an old buddy and I was hungover as shit, right? And he's like, "Whoa, man, what are you doing differently? You look great." It's like, "You're glowing. You have a real glow about you, man." And I'm like, "Glowing? Oh, that's the jaundice. Side effect of a failing liver. You might actually never see me again." But yes, tired. Everything feels like it takes extra effort lately. And I know the cause. It's just because I don't exercise. I do not work out. And I know that I should. I always make the excuse that my job is enough exercise, but it really is not. It's work, yes, but it is just not enough exercise. But you know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to speak it into existence. I'm going to manifest this. I am going to work out. I am going to get so ripped. I'm going to have like washboard abs. Washboard. I'm going to be able to manually wash clothes on my abdominal area. Just like the Amish. Washboard abs. What pilgrim came up with that? Some Amish ladies watching a stud churn butter with his shirt off. Ruth is over there like, "I could wash my garments on Jeremiah's stomach." Whew. Little do they know that Jeremiah's over there looking at them like, "I could hang my clothes between them melons. She got that clothesline bosom. I could put a clothespin on each one and then just put her out on the porch. Just hang up my trousers." I don't even know if that's how Amish people talk. I'm sure they have different accents all across the globe, but I'm sorry, Amish, if I offended you. Well, you're not even supposed to be listening to this shit anyway. Right? Get to work. Get back to work, you slacker. Isn't there ones that can listen to podcasts and stuff like that? Mennonites. Mennonites. Kirby's nemesis. I'm just picturing an Amish man listening to Rogan talk about like ice baths. And he's over there like, "Damn it, Joseph, we've been doing this. Carnivore diet. That's just wintertime." So stupid. I'm sorry. Anyway, speaking of doing laundry and stuff, I had an idea. It came to me when I heard about Musk and Zuckerberg fighting to the death or whatever they're going to do. I thought, how about instead of them doing that and wasting their intelligence, they both come together, fuse both of their brains into one, and develop a proper laundry folding machine. Yay or nay? Would you rather see a stupid fight, or would you rather not fold your laundry ever again? They're going to waste their energy on battle, slugging it out like commoners, while we all continue to fold our clothes like we're still living in the Victorian era. We got the washer, we got the dryer. Where is the folder? And I've seen some online, but those are just not ideal. You gotta stand next to it and operate the machine, like feed it the clothes. That's just not good. That's not what I'm talking about. The reason a more convenient one is not being made is because billionaires would rather claw at each other like a couple barbarians than come together for the future of humanity. We got virtual reality goggles, right? We got AI. The government's got alien spacecraft. We got bombs that can rip a hole through the fabric of space and time. But I'm still folding my laundry like a fucking Amishman. Please. An affordable laundry folding machine. It doesn't even have to be affordable. I can just, as long as I can finance it at Home Depot. Just let me make monthly payments on it. Because it's not expensive if it's monthly payments, right? Isn't that how it is? And plus, a laundry folding machine isn't going to steal anybody's jobs that I'm aware of. I know on the last episode I talked about how back in the day if you purchased a freezer, there were these little guys that came with it and they would serve you your ice cubes. but I'm not aware of any little guys out there folding laundry. The only other little guys that I'm aware of that are out there getting things done today are the ones baking cookies in the woods. The Keebler Elves. Ernie Keebler and his gang out there pumping out endless sheets of cookies. Where is Smokey the Bear at? He hasn't shut these guys down yet? They're baking right inside of hollow trees, surrounded by endless acres of brush. That's not a fire hazard? That's a violation. Hey, Smokey the Bear, how about you stop harassing elementary school students with your condescending speeches and go after Big Cookie, the Elves, man. Only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah, tell that to them. Issue a citation, or just shut it down. Where's the health department? Huh? Imagine the amount of bugs crawling around in those trees. Or maybe even a woodpecker pecks his way into the tree and takes a shit on the fudge stripes. Something needs to be done, man. What about the hardworking human bakers and cooks who pay their taxes? Who have mini heart attacks every time a health inspector shows up at their kitchen. And even though they spend hundreds of dollars on cleaning supplies every month, they still know there's a slight chance they could get shut down if that health inspector is having a bad day. And then the fire marshal comes in one day and goes, "Is that a cardboard box in front of the fire exit?" And the baker goes, "Oh yeah, sir, sorry, I was just on my way out to break it down and throw it away. $300 fine." You go after the working man trying to provide for their families in a safe and sanitary environment. Meanwhile, Keebler's out there running a filthy, tax-free cookie elf empire. It just gets to me, man. Laws should apply to all. But what, they get a free pass, huh? 'Cause what, they're victims? Yeah. They're victims. Victims of the Great Elf Massacre in the early 1900s. Get over it. Everyone's scared to say it. I'll say it. Move on. These elves think they're so special because of what they went through. So your entire species was nearly wiped out. Well, you're lucky you survived, right? Yeah, but there's only like 15 of us left on the whole planet. Could have been 0. Would have been 0. Would have been 0 had the greatest nations on Earth not decided to come together and save your asses. And do us humans get a thank you? No. Not even a free cookie. Because one bad apple ruined the bunch to you guys, huh? Because one bad group of humans decided to wipe out the great elf cities and steal all the recipes? Don't be mad at us. Be mad at the founders of Nestle. Be mad at the Oreos and the Chips Ahoy guys. We had nothing to do with it. Get over it. Move on, Keebler elves. Shut them down and make them fold clothes. Do you think the pound will let you adopt an animal if they know you're a furry? That's kind of like going to the gun store and, they know you have a bad record, but they sell you the gun anyway. I don't know, it just crossed my mind. If a furry moves into an apartment, they should pay the extra deposit for the cleaning fee, right? Because all those little fabrics from their costumes they always wear, they're going to get all up in the carpet, and who knows what goes on in a furry's apartment, what kind of stuff they do. Same with the hotels. When a furry checks into a hotel, they should have to pay the extra cleaning fee. You know how hotels have those windows that are designed so you can't jump out? That's ridiculous. I didn't pay for this hotel to die outside of it. I'm going out in the bathtub with a complimentary hairdryer. I didn't come here to be scraped off of the sidewalk. If I wanted to be roadkill, I'd jump in front of a U-Haul for free. And I'd let the vultures know beforehand so they could get a free meal. I'm kidding. I can't communicate with vultures. Who am I? Mike Tyson? But yeah, don't off yourself, please. This is for humor reasons only. Don't do it. I will say this. I did try to off myself in a cheap motel a long time ago. Times were dark, at least in my brain they were. I tried to strangle myself with a belt jammed in the bathroom door, and guess what? The door broke. The cheap, poorly designed door broke. That's what I get for choosing the La Quinta Inn. I had it all planned out too. I left a note on the other side of the door for the housekeeper, because I was a considerate suicidal drunk. And on the note it said, "Please do not enter. Call police first. Unless you're into forensics." Because who knows, right? Maybe this housekeeper was studying CSI on the side. Even if she wasn't, I know a lot of ladies really enjoy the creepy crime stuff, right? So I gave her that option. It would have been up to her. But yeah, door broke, belt snapped, and I took that as a sign. A sign that next time I try to do that, I'm maxing out a credit card at the Four Seasons, where they care about the quality of their doors. I'm kidding. I'm sure the doors are the same quality. They probably just paint them nicer to make them look better. I'm joking. This was a long time ago, okay? And the story is exaggerated for your entertainment purposes. Anyway, space. I think about space quite often. I don't know why. I just do. And I thought, I'm actually relieved we don't live in the futuristic time, where space travel is easily accessible to regular civilians. 'Cause I'm married. Do you know what a pain in the ass it would be visiting your in-laws on Europa? The wife's like, "Can't we just go for a weekend? I really miss them. There's been some serious technological advancements. It'll only take us 6 months to get there now. They'll just cryogenically freeze us. It'll be like taking a nap. We'll fly out in January. We'll get there in June on a Friday evening. We'll spend the weekend with them, and then fly out first thing Monday morning. Depending on asteroid season, we might even get back by November." No, thank you. I like where we're at on the timeline. We're in the perfect spot. Just 15 years ago, you could only get like pizza or Chinese food delivered. And though that is a wide gap in ethnic cuisine, they did still both come in paper boxes. So at least they had that in common. Perfect time to be alive. Bad time for cheaters though. I don't see how you're supposed to lie about where you are with FaceTime. That's a difficult one. Tough. But it's a good time. When people say like, "Oh, I was born in the wrong time. I would have loved to live through the 1920s. That is just timeist to me. That's timeism. It's an insult to our time. That's like if a white guy was born in China and he was like, I think I would have rather been born in France. I think I would have had a better time there. There's a lot of Chinese people here. There's a lot of dumplings and stuff, and I prefer French cuisine. Too bad. If you don't like our time, then get the fuck out, time hater. You go to the 1920s, and you go put on your tap dancing shoes and your fedora hat, and go play with a yo-yo or a hula hoop. Go! Watching silent films, drinking bootleg liquor that you overpaid for. Yeah, that's excellent time. That's a party. A great spot right in between World War I and II. The sweet spot. Oh, but I'd love to live back then and put on a record and, have a glass of wine and slow dance to the night. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, but times were so much simpler back then. Dude, you could die from diarrhea. The squirts could take you out. That's actually why it's called diarrhea. That's today's word origin. Diarrhea. Because people died a lot in the area. Today you shit your pants and everybody laughs. And it becomes a good icebreaker down the line, you know? When you're trying to fix an awkward conversation, you just go, hey, you ever shit your pants? Me too. Haha, wow, we have so much in common. I used to be embarrassed, but now it's great. Back then, you shit your pants in the office, there was a moment of silence. And a church bell may have rang. Then everybody would just start giving you their condolences. Your boss, who had never been nice to you since you started working, would start to get all sentimental with you. And he'd say, like, Johnson, you've been a real asset to our company. I wish I had 10 more just like you. It's sad to see you go. Say, Johnson, when you get to the pearly gates, do me a favor, would you? Would you put in a good word for me? With the big man? Oh, and could you say hello to Mark Twain for me when you get there? I'm a big fan of Huckleberry Finn. Diarrhea was just out there murking people trying to watch Chaplin. Sitting watching Charlie Chaplin make 2 loaves of bread dance. That actually is pretty cool. If you haven't seen Charlie Chaplin with the bread roll dance, I just imagine coming home from a long day of inhaling coal and putting my feet up, and I turn on the old tube, and you just see Charlie Chaplin like doo-doo-doo-doo, 2 loaves of bread. It's really not that great, actually. Anyway, born in the wrong time, yeah, okay. The worst is when the hippies say it. Like, man, I was born in the wrong time. I wish I lived through the 60s, man. Yeah. I kind of wish you lived in the 60s too. Get the fuck out of here, stinky prick. Anyways, we got very few questions today. This time around, when I announced everybody to send in their questions, hardly anybody saw it. And I don't know what's going on with Instagram. I get very little reach with anything I post now. Hardly any of my followers see even stories. It's weird. I don't know if it's the algorithm change, or maybe I'm shadow banned because I've said some dumb shit. I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I'm shadow banned, and it's like, no, you're not. You just have terrible stuff. Maybe that's it. I don't know if I'm shadow banned, or maybe I just started sucking. But it's odd. Instagram needs to get their shit together, or maybe I do. I don't know. But subscribe here on YouTube instead. It's kind of pointless if I try to share stuff and it hardly gets across, So yeah, subscribe here so I can quit my job and I can make content full time. I'm gonna be honest. I want to quit my job. Well, I still want to help out at my job, but I don't want to do it full time. Subscribe here so I can work less. Well, I'll work on content more, but I'll work less at my job, my real job. I'm tired of my real job. No, it's an okay job, and I'm happy to help where I can at this job. But yeah, I'd rather do this kind of stuff. Anyway, questions. First question from Ethan J. Hey Luke, was curious on your opinion of having to move out of state alone and leaving everything you grew up with and know behind. I have to do that in a month and I'm terrified. What should I do? You might be terrified, but I'm excited for you. You get to start a whole new adventure. I don't know where you're going, but to me it seems like you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of strangers, and that's the best. New environment, new people who have no idea who you are. They have zero expectations of you. This could be a chance to create a whole new personality for yourself. If you're unhappy with your former personality. And nobody's gonna say like, hey, what happened to Ethan? It's like he changed overnight. Because they don't know you. You got the reset button in your hands. You most likely will change though, whether you try to or not. And when you do go back home to visit, years from now or whenever, people from your hometown are going to be like, oh, he changed. But that's because you're Peter Pan, and you left Neverland, and you grew up. And everyone you left behind will most likely still be doing the same shit. And they'll still be talking about the same girls and guys that they've been hung up on since high school. Like, I could have had her. I could have totally had her. I bet I'd still have a shot if I tried, but, she's got like 4 kids now, so why even bother? I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm still gonna talk about it though. Every time we hang out, I'll bring it up. That one shit talker in the group who always had something negative to say, but he thought it was hilarious, he'll still be saying that same shit. He'll be 40 years old and divorced, still trying to make the same jokes, but they're just insults at this point. And then every time he cracks one, he'll look over at you like, and wait for validation, waiting for you to do like a light giggle or a smirk. He'll be like, huh? Did you catch that? Did you hear me roast him just now? Did you hear that? Did you hear me just get him? And you'll be over there like, it's so painful. But yeah, I don't know where you're going, but you're about to create a whole bunch of new memories. You're going to meet new people that understand you more than anybody else that you grew up around. So yeah, I am excited for you. And yeah, it's scary. Of course it's scary. Everything new is scary. But I think you'll be glad you did it in the end. As long as you're going to a decent place. This guy could be going to jail and I'm like, oh, he's going to create so many memories. Everyone's going to understand him more than his hometown. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I moved away from home for some time, but I was like 17 and I was just too young and stupid to take advantage of it. I came back when I was around 23 maybe, and I used to think, what a waste of time. I just wasted all this time for nothing. But now when I look back, it was all meant to be. I needed that. I needed to move and get out there and meet people and stuff. There were more dark times than good times, yeah, but it was worth it. Everything happened the way that it was supposed to. Thanks again for your question. Okay, we got Fairfar's World. Can you be addicted to being sober? Yeah, I think so, depending on who you are. Like if you drink every night and then get sober, you might get addicted to not feeling shitty every morning. You might actually look forward to waking up early. It's nice winding down at the end of the night without feeling like something's missing. Like you just go to sleep like a regular person. That can be addicting. Realizing how much time you have available to you when you're sober. You can do all sorts of different things other than being a slave to whatever you're on. Like going to bed and just getting a great night's sleep, that's a great feeling in itself. Then again, plenty of sober people do things to shut their brain out from, the stresses of society, right? So like video games, bicycling, scrolling through your phone. So are any of us really sober? Like I have coffee every morning and once I have it, I definitely do not feel sober. I feel very weird. But maybe I'm just a little bitch who can't handle his coffee. I think you can get addicted to non-alcoholic beer. It's expensive though. It's not really worth it. I think mental clarity is addicting. Knowing that there's nothing to blame your actions on. You know, for instance, when you post stupid videos on the internet for the whole world to see, and your family comes across them, they can try to accuse you of being on something in those videos, but you know you're completely sober, right? Nobody can tell you you're hungover anymore. What's your problem, man? You drink too much last night? Oh, asshole, I'm just tired. I have a tummy ache. I ate too much. Normal people shit. You know, if you get a little anxious or dehydrated throughout the day, you can't go, oh, you know, maybe it was the box of wine that I drank last night. No, you realize, oh, I'm just a little anxious because maybe I had too much caffeine or maybe I didn't get enough sleep. But whatever it is, I'm not going to go home and drink to get rid of that feeling so that I get it all over again the next day. Yeah, you can be addicted to feeling like a normal person, I think. You can be addicted to not needing something all the time. It's very freeing. That's a freeing feeling. You can be addicted to freedom. I didn't mean for this to get that deep, but thank you very much for your question. That's it, guys. Got 2 questions today. Easier for me, but I appreciate you guys for participating. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Instagram and stuff. So subscribe to me here for more content. I know I've said before I don't have enough time to do all this stuff, but I'm trying. I'm also working on a cartoon right now, and that's been taking up lots of time. I'm trying not to use any AI. It's tempting, man. Just type in a background and it comes up. But no, I'm drawing all the backgrounds. I voiced all the characters. I'm making all their arms and eyes move and all that stuff. So yeah, look forward to that. Yeah, thank you, you guys. Have a great night. Have a great week. If I don't see you for a while, have a great month. Thank you.